Hi, Darren. How are you?
Brian, very well yourself?
Yeah, good. My name's Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just turned 5:30 in the morning on a Friday for me. Thursday evening for Darren, I'd say. So let me just share this screen to start with. This is just a welcome screen to this analysis. A few notes there. There is a full risk disclosure and a little bit about us as live session traders. So let's go and look at charts. Yeah, interesting. This is a daily over in here. It's just AUD CAD. We just start at the top. So where am I at the moment? No, I don't have an AUD CAD. Okay. So we didn't get, I don't know if you did, Darren, but I didn't get any sort of I didn't get any up arrow on the there's on the 2 hour. I know you did get around about the London Open, your London Open, your today, my yesterday. So I was sort of watching for that.
No arrow. It didn't quite trigger, is it?
No. And then it pushed back up, but we did get along. So it was interesting. So one of the things I've just been observing though is from with this sort of indicator and strategy. Welcome, Ian.
Hi, Brian. Don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. No worries at all.
Oh, very good. Mic's working. Camera's working.
Have you got any questions at the moment?
No, I just I haven't joined any of your sessions for a while. Lots have happened, life generally, but yeah, just picking up on what you're doing. I do like that indicator you're using with the bands. So I've been trialing that out and set it up today. I did also notice from yesterday, various people were asking about the little triangles that sometimes doesn't appear. And I think I figured out what that is. It's one of the settings, and it basically makes the bands wider and narrower. And when you make them narrower, the arrows pop up. Yeah,
because it's when they pop out of the actual band.
Yeah, there seems to be some inside the band sometimes. I've seen a whole variety, so I just wanted to check what your settings are.
I'm pretty sure, hang on, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that is, it's this X48 Midnight Hunter.
Yeah.
And so the settings are 56, weighted.
Oh, hang on, let me grab a screen grab there quickly.
Okay.
Should check it later. Yeah, that's good.
And we could tweak around with it, but yeah, you're saying that some of these with true rate, you could increase or decrease these.
Is the 2.5 value.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes it wider and narrower.
So we would to oh gosh, 1.5. No.
Type it in.
Yeah. Make it a 2 point. Let's see what 2.4 does. The wheel's still going around here, so we'll just see whether it Yeah. Now it gets that one arrow, the one triangle,
Yeah.
just by a little change. So this was, yeah, thanks. This is actually what I was talking about just before with Darren, that we didn't get any sort of arrow here to indicate this was like finished its cycle and ready to push back in another direction, which it did. Oh, that's interesting. Just by a 0.1 of a change.
Yeah, it's quite small, the change sometimes. But what is the main reason for using 2-hour chart?
I think the main reason is really about that it's actually more of a long-term view. Like if you went down into say to 1 hour or a 15-minute or something, there's just more noise in relation to trade and more ups and downs that you need to be in and out and have more attention to it. I mean, I don't know if Darren, are you still on the 3-hour, Darren? Sorry to annoy you.
Yeah, no, I'm sort of I'm wavering though, sort of looking at the 2-hour and
3-hour, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not, yeah.
We were Rianne, we were 3-hour for quite a long time, right? It was sweet, you know, with what we had as indicators at that time. And in light of that, we were putting alerts on the 2-hour, but running the 3-hour. So we were getting alerts slightly earlier than what the 3-hour. And it's more about a lifestyle trading strategy more than anything. So
yeah, I thought it might be the case. Longer trades more than anything else.
Yeah, 2-3 hour. It doesn't really, well, it matters, but it doesn't matter a lot. And it just means that there's 3 hours for every candle or 2 hours for every candle. And so you got plenty of time to make a decision about what you want to do from, that sort of point of view of trading. So this is no, so let me, how do I, let me, this is just observation on this one pair, right? Just if we look at this is just how the market works, right? The simplest view of it. You have sells, you have buys, you have sells, you have buys, you have sells, you have buys. Simple, isn't it? Yeah. And if we look at the 2 hour, and from perspective of, if we just pull it to maybe even to there, right? You have a trend and you have a trend, right? You can see that there's a downward trend there, even though it pushed back up there, it sort of matched up, and then it pushed back down, then it pushed back up. So if you go to a smaller view, you have ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, right? And if you start to then pull it into a sort of a bigger view with a lot more candles, you have downs and ups and downs and ups, right? So without looking at the individuals. Now, there is then a trend direction. There is a potential change of trend direction. And then in there's certainly ups and downs. Now, what we want to do is we want to get trades that are in this, that are following that trend direction, but it doesn't mean we don't get trades in the opposite direction. Just know that they probably will not break a higher low in relation to whatever that overall trend is in a higher time frame. So here's a higher time frame, like over here, and it is the daily on the left here. And if you look, there's a red triangle there, right? but there are no green triangles anywhere yet. Yeah, can you see that?
Yeah.
So, like from a higher time frame perspective, if you were to be in a longer term, what do you call it, Darren?
A background trade.
Background trade. Why do I forget that? I know it's a back something, but anyway, just a trade in the background. This is what Darren's referring to it, is that you're in a longer term trade in the direction of the trend. But it doesn't mean you can't take trades also too. And what ends up happening, if you get a trade, say, for example, I don't know, here's a 2 hours. So you've got overall trend. If you got a trade here and it did this, even though it's jumping around here, you still can be in that background trade, still in positive for it, right? Yeah, you decide when you're going to sort of get out of it or not, right? But what you also have the opportunity to is to stack trades on that way down and potentially move up. So the strategy is to get trades that are in the trend direction primarily. Doesn't mean you can't get ones against that trend, but know that they're only going to be shorter-lived. And to stack trades into it, and also in that stacking to also move your stop losses to trail, right? And it depends on how tight or how sort of loose that trailing stop will be. So if they do change direction and come back up significantly, then you're going to profit out, not stop out and lose. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So simply looking now at this and the triangles, this is what I was going to just say before, is when it comes to the outer edge of this channel setup, even if we didn't have this green triangle, there is the two possibilities of it breaking or bouncing, right, off that. Here, you can see where it's sort of just like 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours, right? So for 10 hours, it basically bounced along that. You got 10 hours to decide, am I going to stay in it or get out of it, right? And you have a red triangle there, which could potentially say, if you're in this trade from this green triangle here, to be in that trade, this one could say, you could say here, like, change the direction, I'm going to get out, because it has, even if you only saw, even if that's all you saw, right? So you're in the trade for that buy there, and you saw that change, and you got a red one, you'd probably be out. But then, whether because you have that, whether you get into a sell or not is another thing, where it pushed back up here, well out of this channel. Welcome, Alistair. And then off it went back down here to this point, came to the other side of this channel and basically pushed back up again. Now it's at that point, right? Now it's at the other side of the channel. So what's the possibility? It's either going to continue up through it, bounce along it maybe, or it's going to break through it, or it's going to bounce off and start coming back down again. All right. Now, where we're at the moment is we're 2.25 hours off changing over to Sydney, and spreads go a little crazy. So it's no use sort of getting into a trade at this point. And for me, I'm going to look at this of when it's going to sell potentially. And I may get a trade in the last sort of 24 hours because it's in another 2.25 hours. It's a 24-hour period, market will close. So is there an opportunity to actually, grab a trade in this or not? So that's sort of where I'm at. I mean, you might not have seen, Alistair, we tweaked this indicator, the X48 Midnight Hunter. There was just this one average true range, went from 2.5 to 2.4. That's all. But it may not be relevant in other pairs. I don't know. I was just talking about the fact that it came down, bounced here, and hadn't given us a triangle. When we changed that one figure, it gave us a triangle.
Okay. What did it do when you changed it?
The triangle appeared.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. That was all. Yeah. Okay.
It makes the band narrower.
It pulls it in slightly, which means that because it's now come and poked out or whatever the parameters are for this, it actually shows up a triangle. Because I was just saying that sell is evident here. It's out of the channel, and you have a triangle to push, for it to be in a down direction. But here it had come and was really close or just touching the band, but we hadn't got some sort of a confirmation that it was going to go in a buy direction. But now it has by changing a 0.1 on that multiplier. So yeah, this is at London Open. If you had got into a buy at London Open on this pair, you basically would be up by 75 pips. Simple. All right. And you would be out of this trade, which would have been, somewhere here, or wherever you got in, you would be out of the trade at 100, and now you'd be up another 70 with a relatively tight stop loss, right? Because your stop loss would just be at the top of that turn candle. And the same here, your stop loss would be just below that candle there if you were to get in for that buy. Okay. That's does that bring up any more questions, Rhiannon, or?
No, it's good.
Yeah, no worries. And how's that, Darren? I don't know, there's just one pair that you're looking at with other ones. I mean, most of the discussion in our chat group was about Euro AUD. Do you want to go look at that one?
Yeah, sure.
We'll go back to the others, but this is Euro AUD. Yeah, just got to wait for the indicator to jump in. There you go. Simple as. This is basically London Open. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was just before. But even if you got in around London Open just there, it just dropped down. Like even if you got in after, like at the next candle or the start of this candle, that's still 112 pips. And Alistair, I saw Alistair boasting about his 80, what was it, 80-something pips? Oh, he's shaking his head now.
Never boasted.
Oh, sorry.
It did it. Yeah, it did its. Yeah, it's
did its thing.
Pinging off the things, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And, previously, if you were, on the Wednesday, here was a trade here for 200 pips that way, and we got another 100 or whatever the other way. Purely from this indicator, and this had pushed out, but you might not have got, you might have got that, But the point was, if you had have got out of this here, that sell into a buy there, you would have lost in that one candle move, which was when our CPI figures came out here in Australia. And then you got another green triangle here and pushed up. So when I saw this engulfing candle here, I really knew that this was going to push back up again. I mean, this was just a fake push down here to continue that because of news, and then it was going to pull back, which it did. And basically it came back and took out all of that drop that it did. It basically gave it back again. So when I saw this, it was after this candle here, because I had already, I was down here somewhere when I got to see it, because I was preoccupied. I didn't get to sort of involve myself in this too much. I was actually driving. So, yeah. So that was nice from that perspective. What I did, though, have, this was an annoying, I had an order here. You can see in a minute when it pops up. This is CAD-J. I'd actually placed an order for it to go into a buy, right? And I had there was a buy triangle, but I'd put the order on somewhere here, right, for it to come up. It did that, and I had a stop loss down below here. You can see what it did. It poked up, got me in the order, came back, stopped me out, and then went up.
Yeah, there was a few of them. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nasty.
and that stop loss was like 40 pips. Like that was a real crazy, and you can't avoid any of this sort of thing. Then it pushed up, came back down, and now it's looking like it's, might follow what that triangle had given us or not. But we'll see. It's interesting. This triangle here is actually on a candle that's well within this band. So it just doesn't, for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And also too, here we have no, there's no red triangles saying, and this is the discussion I had with Tom yesterday, like lots of sell, lots of buy, no sell, but it's going down. Then we get a buy triangle here, but it's not really going up. Okay. Something is going on here with this pair at the moment, but that's okay. I mean, I didn't. So this is the other thing too, is if you're going to put initial trades on or background trades, I have a 0.01 on it, because you don't know whether that will continue in that sort of direction trend or not. And then you can decide in some stacking trades to actually potentially increase the lot size or not if you want. Yeah, in relation to your stop loss and that at that point. Yeah. So I just wanted to show you that one. Got knocked in and knocked out from an order. I just looked at it on my phone and went like, what? I'm in the trade I'm at. It was basically within that 1-2 hour candle. Crazy. So I'm just going to leave this to give us some more direction. Probably won't trade it for the rest of the week. We'll see the rest of this trading week. Okay, so let's go through AUD CHF, same thing. If you look at the AUDs, like, so the euro the other direction, but this, perfect, right? This would have been, yeah, there we go. London Open, into buy. Yeah, see there? Another green arrow. You got a red up there for the sell, then for the buy. Simple as. Just follow it. Getting into it after that turn, somewhere there, and then put your stop loss down there, and then off she goes. So what would that be? Stop loss would be about, that would only be about 10 pips or so. Not bad. And the move would be 50. So you got 5% roughly on that one trade. If you had have done that. Now it's coming up to the other side of the channel. It's going to either hit it, bounce, or it's going to break it up a little bit and then come back, or it's going to touch and then come away as well. So we're getting to that sort of like, what will it do stage. It's no good getting into a buy on this now. You're going to have to wait and set yourself up for a sell back out. Agreed?
Yeah. That came off a block I've got across the screen. It came off.
The top one, where the down is, you mean, Alistair?
That was Wednesday.
Okay.
So it came off 2 o'clock in the morning. It jumped up and hit the top of it, and then came all the way down. And then it did the exact same as you said this morning at 2 o'clock UK.
Yeah.
Started its way up again.
Yeah.
Off the bottom of the band.
Yeah.
That was actually really good trade.
Yeah, but you don't know
Well,
though
see,
at that 2 o'clock, Alistair. You don't know.
No.
You don't know whether
sorry.
it's going to. I'd be waiting. I personally wait until around about the just pre-London Open.
Well,
to then,
I'm asleep. Yeah, I'm asleep, so I'm not going to see it. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I could get in earlier if I'm awake on it. But I tend to, because this is sort of like this candle here is the end of Sydney, or not end of Sydney, sorry. It's where Tokyo is taking over, and this is where it sort of changes. And then London is where it really sort of has its move. And then at New York, there's a bit of a pullback before it goes back up again. So at New York, this could change direction, or it could continue on. And that's what it's done. It's continued up. Yeah. And so maybe around Tokyo, and which is when spreads settle down, and or London, we might get a push in the other direction. But like this week, what do we got? Monday, so there's Sunday, Monday here. This week, right? Only you could have you could have 3 trades on this, and at any point here, you could be up by 70, right? 70 pips one way, this way back down by another 70, and currently you could be up by 50. So there's 1, 2, 3 trades in 1 week on one pair. Depends on what your percentage return, or where your stop loss is in relation to some of them, but they're just sitting there waiting. AUD CAD, if you look at it, basically did the same thing. Pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, right? If you look at AUD JPY, same, pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, right? AUD NZD is probably different. That's just a push up and down, AUD Singapore, push up, push down, push up, right? AUD USD, push up, push down, push up, right? Same. They all did all the AUDs except for AUD NZD as such, all did that move, that move, that move. Every one of them. Did you just see that? And they moved around about the same time. Maybe not the same amount, but they all moved roughly around the same time. Yeah, see, just London Open a bit before, but London Open there, here. This is later. This wasn't London, but you got that. Yeah, that was New York Open. But, you know, you could even be there. Well, that might stop you out. But if it did stop you out, you know, there's still that. And what you've got is an overall on the daily as a sell. So if any of these sells you got into, you might keep that sell from there. Either this pullback up may not break that high or change that. It depends on where you put your stop loss. Whether you've moved it down to trail, it might come up and profit you out before it drops back down again. Just depends on what your strategy is. So that's all of the AUDs. Everyone except for AUD NZD as an exception to that, all of them basically did a buy, a sell, and are in a buy. Yeah, that's it. CAD CHF. Just still bouncing around, right? This thing, where am I? I'm in a CAD CHF, still up 117 pips on it, right? Where it is. I got in somewhere up here, whatever. That's my stop loss there. So if it jumps up, it'll profit me out. If it goes down, then I'll be looking at getting into another trade on it. No, it's just sideways. It's done a big push up, big push down on the daily. Now it's going sideways. So it's getting ready to do something. This is just building up liquidity, building up capital to go in whatever direction they want to take it. Right. CAD JPY, I explained my sad trade there. CHF JPY. I had an order on this also for a sell. What it did is it came down, it got me into the trade, it bounced back up to my stop loss, same as the CAD JPY, right? And then basically just moved its way back down again. I would be at sort of like drawdown if it didn't come up to stop loss there. Right? And this is the, how do I put this? This is the danger of getting into a trade well after it's come back into the band. Does that make sense? And if you look at the CAD-J from a band perspective, see where it was around that middle of the band as well. So I shouldn't have got into a buy here. I should have waited for it to give me more because it's down low on there. Well, it still didn't give us any sell there, but anyway. Yeah, it's just something I'm observing. Okay, so your AUD we've looked at, Euro CAD. Yeah, I was looking for this to sell, but this is where are we? Come on. Okay. So buy. We've had no sell yet. Should still be in a buy if you're not already. Yeah. It didn't break down past there. That's good. So what it's showing me is to potentially not take trades within this band. It's much more profitable to take trades if you can get it when it's come out of these bands to pull back. Does that make sense? Yeah, good. So
Yep.
this, for example, is where I would have put an order for a sell, but it didn't pull back down to the other side. Yeah. Right. That's the Euro CAD, Euro CHF. Let's see where there's, again, look at that for potentially selling out. Well, let's have a look where the bands come in. There. So you can see that would have been a nice sell here around London Open, right? That's on Tuesday. That was the potential. But then this has not come down to the other side, right? And it doesn't have to, but then it's pulled back up again. We've got a long, right? So this would have been good sell. Like that's good buy, that's good sell. This is not telling me that it was changing direction, right? So you're not going to necessarily rely on having a triangle for it to come back up. This is where you would move your stop loss down, and if it comes back, you would be stop profited, if that makes sense. It gives good credence to do that. And I actually keep it relatively tight. Yeah. If it comes back, so what? I could always get into another trade for a sell if I needed to. Euro GBP. This is the one where I got into the trade. It came back here, stopped me out there, and now it's dropped back off again. But the point, where is it? Yeah. See here? I've got that as the sell. This came in as I don't think this was here. And if I change the figures, I probably didn't get that. I should have got out of the trade, out of this sell, because it just came back up, stopped me out, and now it's gone back down again. But I don't have a red, we don't have a red triangle here. It came up to there and then stopped me out and basically then just pulled itself back down again. They're a bit shaky, these euros, from that sort of point of view, except for, Euro AUD did. Euro JPY. Ryan. Welcome, Ryan. So this one, so look and see once it. So you can see that would have been nice. Here you would have got out. When it did this and you end up with a green triangle, it's like that's get out of the trade. Now, it is working its way back up again now, right? It has come out of the channel. So it's good if we get a green there, then it's get out of that trade and into that trade. And you can see back down here, where is it? Where is it? That's the overall. If you've got in back over here, which was the start of October sometime, that's just gone and bought. And you can see on the higher time frame, that's what it is. This pullback here is just a pullback. You could have stayed in this background trade and got a trade for a sell there, and then get another trade in the buy direction with that background trade still running, right? So, for example, you got in here somewhere, you would be up by 300, you would be down again to 178 on that background trade, but now you'd be back up to 240, and you could have another trade from here into buy with a sell out in the meantime. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hey, Ryan. Good looking beard there, mate.
Thank you.
If you've got any questions, just ask them.
Okay.
So that's that one. And you can see it where it's come out of that channel, it's basically just bounced and come back up again, right? Now, I'm not saying this won't come back down, but it depends you know, and it doesn't have to come to the other side of this channel either. So and look, we're later in the week. I don't tend to trade this last 24 hours of the market. I don't trade the first 12 to 24 hours of the market, and I don't tend to trade the last 24 hours, right? It's just things are doing what they need to sort of profit at the end of the week. Euro NZD would have been, yeah, exactly. It would have been very similar to Euro AUD. So if we wait for the channels, see where that sell came in, exactly the same time, which was that sort of like New York Open, London Open stuff. Bang, down it goes, right? 130 pips, and now it's pulling itself back up again. It hasn't come out of here, so it may come down further, right? This is just a pullback at the end of New York, 2, 4, 6 hours, and then we'll see. It may come down, may not. There's no green triangle as yet, but doesn't mean it will have one. It doesn't mean it will, right? So you could decide, but if you've moved your stop loss down and down, this might come back up and stop profit you. It just depends on what you're doing with it. But still, after moving 130 pips and you give back, you know, and you're up 100 pips, like, you could decide to get out if you wanted to. It's up to you. And particularly if you got there, what would that stop loss be? If you had got in there and you would have put it up there, like it's 22 pips. So if it's moved 100, 20, that's like 5% nearly on that one trade.
There was a nice trade on the 10th of October, Brian, if you just go a bit further to the left, if you got in.
Yeah, back over here.
Yeah, it just
absolutely.
Kept going. Though.
Absolutely. Well, it did little pullbacks.
Yeah.
But there are no, but there are no, well, even if you got out here, like from greens here, you got in there and got out somewhere up there, that's still 500 across 8 days, 2 weeks. And there's just green there and a red there. That's it. Get in, get out.
That's off a good zone as well on that.
Where, the top or the bottom?
No, the bottom, the 10.
Yeah.
September and then came back.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, there. Correct. Went there, up, down. See, that would have been a buy there, sell there, and that long-term buy there. And you don't know that that's what that's going to do. And you might just get shaky when it does this down thing here, but there's no triangle there. So it just kept going up. Yeah, that's good. This Euro NZD has been good. And we've only been sort of following this triangle stuff for a week. So it's like, no, it's just a bit fresh. So you can look back at, you know, opportunities we've missed, but, you know, bad luck, the market moves forward. So Euro Singapore, same here. Look at this. This one was, I know that Tom doesn't necessarily trade this, the Singapore. I tend to. I like it. It's just because it's regional for me. So down here, right, we've only just got the green now, right? So this would have been from Tuesday. So, you know, after 24 hours after market open, bang, 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 straight down to there, 140 pips, 120 pips, whatever. Not very nice trade. Now it's going to go into the buy. Euro USD, same thing. So it's really interesting. I'm noticing that Euro Singapore and Euro USD tend to behave in a sort of similar way. Yeah. Again, you know, red, couple of reds here, get in, bang, down. 140, 120 pips, even if we've had green there, so you'd be out. We should be really in a buy for this currently.
Yeah, I'm in a buy from the daily.
Yeah. Yeah. Because on the daily, you've got the greens there, and it's in a buy direction. Yeah. Okay. Let's quickly go through the GBPs. GA. Now you'll see this was one that I was in. From here, this sell here was on the Tuesday, and it did a very nice push down there, 200 pips. Even if you got out at the thing, it's still 189. And then we got a green, and then up it went. We haven't got a red, right? So you either stay in, or you would have trailed your stop up, which I did, and it stopped me out. Sorry, profited me out. Yeah. And they just do this. Anyway, GBP CAD. Right, you got long up there, but what we've got here, wait for the channels. This is now, in buys. So this hasn't come out the other side of the channel, right? But what we have is we have a buy from a sell. This has come back up. Now, you can't avoid this not having a triangle and it doing that. It's just, if you had it, again, moving your stop loss down, you might have got bumped out there, or, have moved it down here and get bumped out or profited out when it comes back up in that. So it's just having that strategy that you are reviewing. This is what I do at each session, not just this session, but each time I'm on the chart, is looking at where I move my stop to be able to profit. GBP CHF.
Ryan, just
Yes.
jumping back. Don't change the
Yeah.
charts back, but again,
Yeah.
GBP AUD, that whole big long move,
Yeah, that one there.
like in the 25th, up to the top. That started at 2 o'clock in the morning here, and when it got to the top, it was the next day 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
top to bottom.
Yeah. Well, you need to.
I'm going to stay up.
Yeah.
Orange cheese.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know how you're going to do that with all of your Ubering and holidaying
no,
and
it's not going to happen.
no,
No.
it just doesn't fit into your lifestyle, Alistair.
No, and your next GBP card,
Oh yeah, sorry.
that pinged off an amazing cactus on the 19th of
Up here.
October. The one
Oh,
at
19th.
Yes. Well, that's
down
when
here.
the cactus is. But the low yet this morning
one.
was 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The 10 o'clock low this morning. So I've got in the 5-minute chart just to see it easier.
Yeah. So if
oh,
you
that's
look at
just jumped
GBP
up.
CAD there, you see where it hasn't come to the other side. We already looked at that. Okay, GBP CHF, same sort of thing. See how we've got a sell and it's gone into a buy, but not. I'm just going to observe. We've got an up, but no triangle on there, right?
And
just-
that one to
just-
the left is 2 o'clock again. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, it is very believable. See this spiky here. Let's see what we've got. We'll have it down here for sure. Yeah, you got it down. We don't have a triangle for an up there. You got an up, but no triangle. This is an interesting, because I haven't observed this sort of thing. GBP NZD. What do we got going on here? There, down there, but no arrow here. Oh, we do have a green. Yeah. Okay. But here you don't have a back, a sell out back down here. But it's still within this whole range. So GBP Singapore. I just want you to note this Singapore with this, the GBP. See how that's, we'll see when the channel comes in. We sell out there and a buy there, right? Now just look at GU. Ready? Come on. Fell out there, which I've been in. It's now got a buy, right? At New York, basically New York session, push back up. Right, so should be in a buy for this now, GU. I'm in a sell. What have I got? I'm up 132 pips, but I don't know, where's my stop loss on this? 1218. Hang on, I'll just put one in just so I know where it is. 52, 1873.
That last bottom before it turned, that was an outstanding volume.
Yeah.
POI. Just hit it, bounced it.
Yeah, I had my stop loss there. I hadn't moved it down further. But yeah, I could easily move stop loss down to here because it was going to break that high there. So why give away that bit? That's what I'm sort of saying. It might come up. Let me just pull that down to there. 1613. Right, I'm just going to change that. Sorry, I'm over here. So it's not too late to change some of these. So if it does come back up to here, I'll be profited out from that. Still be up like, I don't know, 100 pips or so. And if it doesn't and it goes back down again, that's fine. But I really should have been from here. That's not London, but that's, New York. I was asleep. I should have actually been out of that and into a buy. That's what anyway. Let's look at New Zealand's quickly. NCAD. All right. This is pretty straightforward, this one. Gosh. Wait for the channel. You could look at it here. Where is it? Here, come on. Yeah, there. So that was like the end of the trade. When the trading week started, I could have got into a buy on that one. So that buy would have been anywhere 60 pips or so. Then you've got an arrow saying, right, get out of that, get into the sell. And then we don't have one here, right? But when it came back and broke through, so again, you'd be moving your stop loss down over that couple of days, whatever. And when it came up, you'd profit whatever. Say, for example, you got in somewhere there and you waited for it to bounce back, you'd still be up 40 pips or more in a stop profit. And then into a buy, if you want, you probably wouldn't be in that buy because you wouldn't know. Yes. And then, because you don't have a green triangle here, you might not have been in the buy.
I'm still minded to wait for the
Yeah.
long or a short on these, Brian. See, the way I've got my settings, I'm getting the longs and the shorts quite a bit sooner than
I am.
Yeah, with those tighter settings.
Okay.
Just me being sort of a bit more cautious, but that's
cautious with tighter settings.
Well, cautious in the sense of waiting for a long or a short to get in.
Well, it's on this, isn't it? The Wyckoff one, isn't it? No,
it's on the twin range.
Oh, twin range. Okay. Oh, that's right. You've got a 1.5 or something here, haven't you?
Yeah, 1.5 and then slow range 1.5.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try that. Yeah. Oh, it does bring it in a lot earlier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So if you haven't got a triangle, but you get a long, well, that's a good indication to get yourself out of the trade or into a different, into a different direction. Okay. Thanks, Darren. That's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, tweak. That's what it is, you know. NZDCHF same, you know, down. I don't think we didn't get a down there, we didn't get an up there, right? It's a weird, still got a buy here, right? I'm yet to sort of history this, but what we've got is a buy to a sell. Now it's come back now here to this buy, which is this is sort of like that point there in the daily and push up. Now maybe this pullback here is just it hasn't broken that low there. Maybe this is just a pullback before it's now going to continue up by, you know, up and break the high, pull back up. Because when you look at it, there is a lot of imbalance in here. But the point is the New Zealand dollar is still in the toilet in relation to a Swiss franc, right? So this might be just a dance before it starts to drop back down further. NJ. Tom's absent today at this session. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably off spending his winnings, I think. His profits. Anyway, we don't have a down for that, but we do have an up here. So even though we got up there, you don't have to have a down to follow that up. Just gives you an example of it. Again, it's a bit crazy sideways, right? NU. Just got to wait for the channel to kick in. We're still in that sort of sell low. You can see up here, red on the daily. It's just it pulled back up and now it sort of dropped back out again. This is we do have on this one's quite good. There's the sell out and the buy back up, right? So I'm sort of finding some patterns that some of them are better than others at the moment. Look at that big wick. Crazy. If you had a relatively tight stop loss on this for a buy, we're now into potentially a sell on this one. Right? Hello. Yeah, right. UCAD. That's poked up significantly. Let's look at the channel on it. I think this is another one down. Look at this buy there, which was on the Tuesday, to now sell now. Right? We had that. So that would have been here somewhere to there, 130 pips, with a relatively tight stop loss on that too. But now it's like get ready because it does need to sell out. Okay, USD CHF.
Go office girl.
There's the channels.
Girl.
There we go. Yep, it's also to a sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously US dollar, something's going on. We'll see. But that's the buy from the Tuesday as well. Got into that anywhere there. 70 pips or so. UJ. So if you need any buy for that, you want to get out, let's say. See this sort of collection here? There will be. I keep saying, there's the target up there. Anyway, okay, so we're going to sell before we buy. That would have been, again, from Tuesday. See the pattern? Up here, wherever, another 70 pips or so, and now it's starting to pull back down. And USD Singapore. has already started that pushback down against the Singapore dollar. And you'll see in a minute. So again, Tuesday, push up. Oh, it doesn't have a red. Oh, but it does have a short there. Okay, here's an example again of something that's not, doesn't have a down. It does have a buy there.
I haven't got the Singapore. You know, Tom hasn't did much. I haven't got the Singapore's on my screens at all. No,
No, but I do.
well, you're good for it. Yeah, well, you should do because you're there. I've got. I think I've just got enough on the screen as it is. But yeah.
And what's gold doing? Is it? Yeah, still just sideways, pushed up a little bit. Yeah, just showing that there's sort of like this stagnation really with the US dollar. But it's like it said here, sell, sell, sell. And then it did sell. What have we got? Like from here down? Yeah, 300 or so. And then off for the buy. Anywhere here up to where it is, like it's another 200. Interesting. Okay. Questions? Feedback, observations.
Well, I'm plotting on my charts with volumes, and it's interesting how quite a 2 o'clock line seems to appear all the time.
Yeah.
Interesting that the start of it often is at the edge of the band. There's been a few
At
cases of that.
the 2 a.m. UK.
Yep, 2
Yeah.
a.m. And how it's respecting some of these volumes and whatever else I put in my charts is, it really is. I can chuck some charts if people were interested and see, but I don't want to start.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that's, I mean, part of this is all observation, Alistair. Yeah. The thing though is, I mean, I'm awake at your 2 a.m. though. Do you want me to wake you up, give you a call and?
No, but the thing that's good on the 2 a.m. is there's often a turning time. Again, observation. The turning time at 7. Actually, there is one. Oh, hold on, let me find it. Currency pairs. I'll probably have to find it after we've gone. How it the price just jinks back down 7, half 7 to 8 o'clock. I'll find the chart and put it up and just explain what I'm talking about. But if things happen at 7 o'clock in the UK, it's a time relevant.
7 a.m. or 7
a.m.
Yeah. Which is what I'm saying as well. It's just pre-London open.
London, exactly. And Europe, Europe's coming in it as well. And
yeah.
So, but the bands are really good, and I've taken off the longs and just kept the triangles. I think it's
right.
easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's brilliant, pretty good.
But I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it's 11 in the morning for me. I can give you a little bell and just say, "Hey, it's 2 a.m. for you, mate. Better have a look at the charts."
Honestly, the number of I never really twigged it so much.
I agree with you.
Look at it on the bands. That's what thing. I noticed it today. It's
basically Tokyo. If you think about it, it's basically Tokyo Open.
Okay. Yeah. So it's cool. Yeah, I'll stay up every night.
Yeah. You can Uber until 1:30 and then moving people from stations and that and airports and that and then be home for 2 a.m.
I nearly had a sleepless night because Rangers struggled to a 0-0 in the football today, but they've.
Oh no!
It was better than the defeat which they were heading for, I think, in the first half anyway.
Yeah, but you could be up for 2 a.m. No, the football doesn't happen at 2 a.m.
I get up at 5:15, and they've got no chance.
Yeah. Okay then. Any other questions?
From me, All good, thank you.
Comments? Rian, is that turn your world up? Turn your world upside down? You okay?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. And Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm fairly new to the group. Paul Turner invited me in, so I'm basically just playing around with the fair value gap and the silver bullet strategy. I just thought I'd
Okay.
hop on to see what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, we're just winging it, aren't we, Darren? We're just winging it, mate. Yeah.
I'm noticing if I were just to trade the fair value gap, even outside of the silver bullet time frame, it still seems like there's trades all day long with those.
Absolutely. Yeah. It depends on the time frame that you're on, though, Ryan.
Yeah, I've been kind of playing between the 5 minute and the 1 minute, and I still have to find a forex broker. I've been trading futures through a U.S. futures broker, and the S&P 500 charts. I was just playing with them now while you were talking. There's so many trades there, just based on that fair value gap is quite impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Well, tell us how you go. I mean, it's you can see there's gaps all over the joint on different pairs, but yeah, that's good. Well, we from a perspective is this group is more, and it's not a issue, but it's more about longer term trades, more about trading on, say, 2 hour, 3 hour type charts, and having the time to sort of make a decision to be in or out of a trade without too much sort of repercussion for, sort of, I didn't see that candle, and the next one, okay, we'll make a decision on that, because life happens, to be there, sitting there, for me, I've done it like nearly 7 years doing this. So, to sit there and watch a 1 minute or a 5 minute chart, it's just like, I can't do it. And well, I could do it. And I have tried to do it. But it doesn't suit my lifestyle. I'm off doing bits and pieces, and I can come back at different times, but not sort of for a 1 minute, but interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here today, everyone. Well, that's me for this week. If there's anything on the chat.
Did you tell them about the new house?
No, I haven't told them yet. Do you think I should tell them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, Hugo wants me to tell you that their family have now bought a new house, and they're going to be moving in.
And
Great.
today we're going to go to a Halloween party.
Oh, I'm going to go to a party, Halloween
How
party.
fun.
Yeah, good. Yeah. All right then. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I've told them.
Do you want to come?
No, I don't know. I'll see. I might have to look after Nana. All right then. See you later, guys.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, I'll be back on for pre-market open. So it'll be your Sunday afternoon, evening, or whatever. We'll see what's set up for next week.
Don't scare the children, Brian,
No. Okay. Ciao.